Yes, everyone, good morning. Welcome along to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. We've got all of your Manchester United updates this morning on the 9th of September. Yes, international break has one more day and then it's full steam ahead. Manchester City, interesting situation developing over on the City side. We'll talk about that anyway later on in this show. But I want to start today's show with an interesting story that came about that I want to get opinions on. Now, I'll give you my opinion on this story and what's happening, but it's an interesting one because of the situation developing with Harry Maguire. Where Manchester United see him going forward. Could Manchester United extend the contract? Could they get a transfer fee? There is a story today in Gimme Sports talking about Manchester United cashing in on Harry Maguire. Even to a Saudi Pro League team in the latter stages of this transfer window. Cannot see that happening. Want to make that clear from the start. But it does pose the question as to what could happen with Harry Maguire come January. And if United needed to raise any extra cash, if this is a player that's wanting to get into, let's just say, for instance, the World Cup squad for Thomas Tuchel, which he's not a part of at the moment, does Harry Maguire think, well, I'm gone, there's no new contracts on the table, do I try and one last attempt to get another club to get game time this January? I want to get all of the permutations, different situations that could develop out there on the table right now, but it is an interesting story that caught my eye because Manchester United could always, and we've said this before, say goodbye to Harry Maguire at the end of the season. Bye-bye, big wages gone. Harry Maguire could, in fact, sign a new contract. There could be some form of rolling contract. I want to gauge your opinions on where you're at with that as well. Would that be something that you would take? Manchester United, obviously, heading into European football, like we spoke about last night. Needing a bigger squad. If United do, in fact, qualify for European football next season, that so-called small squad that Ruben has trimmed down this summer won't carry into a European season. We need more players. Should we keep Harry Maguire is the other question that I'm posing this morning. I think when you look at what he brings, that's hard to replace. It really is. And right now, I would look at a situation here. United, where are they prioritising? What do they need? Do they need any extra cash? Do they need to get rid of that wage early? Can they get into January like we spoke about and buy a midfielder if we sell one of our other players that isn't getting game time? Let's be honest, Harry Maguire is not starting games and very soon doesn't really stand the chance of starting any games because Leach is back, Yoro is on fire, De Ligt is awesome, Luke Shaw is back ahead of him at the moment as well. Obviously, you've got Mazraoui coming back into that back three, and Harry Maguire kind of surplus to requirements a little bit because United don't have enough games. We've spoken about this with the midfield section. Where does Harry Maguire go from here? Because Man United really have got a player there that they could raise a little bit of money for before he actually leaves for nothing. Temptations are there. And this story only sparked my interest because I was thinking, what if Harry Maguire wants to play in the World Cup? What if he wants to find another football club come January? If he doesn't feature enough for Man United in this first 3 months of the season, gets into none of these international squads, it's World Cup over, international career over, and Harry Maguire might think that he's still got a bit more to give. So, again, I just don't see him in that World Cup squad at the moment. And that's the question I'm asking in the chat this morning. That's what I want you to get involved in. We're going to bring you all of the other news as well with everything that's going on around international duty, checking in on everybody, how we played in games last night. A little bit of a look ahead towards the derby and how some of these internationals are going and how they impact Manchester United in this game as well. So get into the live chat. Get talking, everyone. Let's have a good old debate. I love shows like this when the international break comes around. There is news within it, and obviously we're going to bring you that news, but of course we do like to look at the proper footballing side of things and start planning ahead. So it's good to gauge where you're all at as well in the chat. So get into the comments and let me know on this one. First of all, I'm just going to put it out there quickly. Ian Chapman has just gifted 5 memberships. Please thank Ian in the chat if you have been gifted one of them memberships. Thank you, Ian. You absolute legend, buddy. Really appreciate that. Manny has come straight in with a super chat and says, unless we move Yoro to centre-back, which suits Amarin's system, and get another centre-back, extend Maguire's contract by 2 years, forget England. They are competing for a World Cup with Tommy at the helm. You would extend, there's one comment straight in there already. Manny would extend Harry Maguire by another 2 years. Would you do that, everybody? If Manny's set the tone in the chat there, everyone. Get involved. Let me know what you think about that. Would you think of extending Harry Maguire's contract at the end of this season? Would you cash in if somebody came in and said that, let's just say, like Gimme Sport have said here, Saudi clubs could come in for Harry Maguire. Somebody could come in for Harry Maguire in January. And the price apparently going around is Manchester United would accept between 12.5 and 15 million. Now, I don't think Ruben Amorim wants to lose Harry Maguire personally. I think he feels like he is part of the squad. Let's not forget, he's part of that leadership group at Manchester United as well. But January transfer window is going to really open up a few different avenues that I don't think many at Manchester United were expecting. And I'm saying this within the players, because that catastrophic exit from the Carabao Cup has thrown a spanner right in the works here with most of this squad now. And it's not just Harry Maguire. I mean, we're leading with Harry Maguire because that's the story and he's out of contract. But even what about the players that are not out of contract in the summer? Like we said before, we need Mainoo to start playing games. Otherwise, the speculation columns are going to be full of the Mainoo rumours again. If he's not playing regularly leading up to the January transfer window, Mainoo, we're just going to get bombarded by the media again. There's going to be loads of leaks coming out from Manchester United again. Do you know what, actually, on that, quickly, just do a little bit of a different subject there, but be interesting now, all of the bomb squad have left Manchester United, if indeed we do get as many leaks when that January transfer window comes around. So really, we could say that the main culprits for the leaks have left. If we don't get anything significant coming out of Manchester United that shouldn't, and you know what I mean by that, then we're looking at completely eradicating that issue. And it clearly was one of the bomb squad that was leaking the news and the crap that was coming out, or their agents, whoever it was. So that's going to be a really interesting one to keep an eye on, because we could see some change there when it comes to the next January transfer window, because that's when all of the speculation comes around. That's when you start getting all the leaks out. So let's keep our eye on that as well. I want Mainoo to get game time. I want him to be part of it. But you know what's coming in January if he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Harry Maguire, I just don't think he's going to get the game time. I'm looking at that team right now, and there is about 4 or 5 players ahead of him. Honestly, if it's between him and De Ligt, I pick De Ligt, because I think he's fitter. I think he's more agile. I think he carries the ball better than Harry Maguire. I do. I love Harry Maguire. I do. But sometimes you've just got to let go. You've got to let go. Look, this man completely convinced me when I'd given up on him a few seasons back, and I think we all were in that position. So I've given Harry Maguire all of the flowers he deserves. I think I've given him every single bit of credit that he deserves as well. But if a bid came in, would you accept it? Would you sell Harry Maguire if a bid came in January? If a bid came in the last knockings of this transfer window for the Saudi Pro League, would you accept it? That's the question. Could Manchester United afford to lose Harry Maguire with the amount of games that we've got coming up? He's part of the fold at Manchester United. This is the question here, isn't it? You're going down a Tom Heaton sort of line here, but not as extreme as this. So why are we paying Tom Heaton a player's wage? Let's not forget, Tom Heaton is on double the money what Mainoo is on. It's scandalous. And I get that, Mainoo's argument here with this. Tom Heaton hasn't played for half a decade, near enough, in a competitive game. And Mainoo is seen as a first-team player fighting for an international call-up. He's on less than half the money that Tom Heaton is. The academy wage and the circumstances have played a part in that. Of course they have. And United do want to offer Mainoo a new contract. But this is with Harry Maguire again. It's like, do we need to keep players around just for the vibe, the atmosphere, the environment around Manchester United, that leadership quality? I would love Harry Maguire to be a bit younger, because I think he is a model pro. He's exactly the type of player Manchester United need in and around Carrington. Look, I'm glad, I've happily held my hands up and said I got it completely wrong with Harry Maguire. I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, near enough, I thought he was done. I thought he'd just fallen off, and it was game over for Harry. But he put me firmly in my place, and I'll sit here and gladly take the L on that comment and my view on Harry Maguire from back way when. And the last 2 years, he's slowly just brought his way back up and fought his way back. And you know what? A man with that type of character, I think, deserves every single bit of praise coming his way. And I will just keep on giving it him. I do believe that Manchester United, though, need to be sensible now in going forward. No other big club would feel sentimental towards a player like Harry Maguire when his contract ends. He should be released, but if you can get money for him in January, I also feel you should take that money. because that will also open up a chance for Manchester United to bring in somebody in January that we need to probably go for in January before everybody else does in the summer. And you all know who I mean by that. And if you're looking ahead to the future of this football club, a bid comes in, I would accept it. I would, because I think we've got enough defenders there. And I think we could easily go out and buy another defender. And I do think that Manchester United would go out in the transfer window this summer and buy a couple of midfielders and a centre-back. I think that should be Man United's priority going into the summer transfer window. And so that's why I would say, if Harry Maguire bid came in for him, sell him in January or sell him now. I would. I'm stuck because of everything I just said there. I wouldn't, because of who he is, his character, his attitude, his professionalism. I think is exactly what a lot of these younger players need at Manchester United right now. He's a go-to, he's an absolute solid character, and we've seen the strength in personality with what he's had to deal with all the criticism that's come his way. He didn't kick off like a Jadon Sancho, he didn't do a Garnacho or a Marcus Rashford. He just got his head down and carried on playing football, didn't say anything. Didn't come out and make any statements. Yeah, he made a few mistakes in celebrations, in cupping his ears when he scored against Albania for England. But we'll kind of let that one slide, Harry, like you slid nearly off the pitch in the wet that night, looking like a little bit of a more steady on, mate. You just scored against Albania moment. I remember Roy Keane on that night. That was classic. But what has he done wrong? Nothing. He has embarrassed all of the idiots at this football club, Harry Maguire, in terms of players that have left. And look, I would love Harry Maguire to see out the season and then he leave on a free transfer, because I don't know if anyone's going to come in and bid for him. All I'm saying here is, if someone does come in and make a bid, I don't think you can turn it down. I really don't. If the bid's on the table, say 12, even 10 million for Harry Maguire in January, I take that. I move on, because you've got enough. You've got another 6 centre-backs if Harry Maguire leaves. We're not in Europe. We're just playing one game a week. Yeah, the FA Cup comes around, but I'm sorry, you've got Tyler Fredrickson stepping up, Godwill Kakonki stepping up. We don't even have to go out and buy a replacement for Harry Maguire in January in that position, in my opinion, which is why I'm going to come to the chat in a minute and see what you think. But looking at that, I'm going, well, if Harry Maguire's gone, you're losing what? Near enough, £8 million a year in wages. Gone. Well, half of that for the rest of the season, obviously. The wages gone. Again, another big one off the books. And 10 million quid. Oh, honestly, that's Man United affording your Carlos Baleba or your midfielder that you really probably do need to bring in. And look, you could use the same logic and say, well, Adam, you don't need to bring a midfielder in then this January. You can wait till summer as well. Well, no. In the midfielder situation and area, United need to get a top target, because it's quite clear that we're not going to go out and buy anybody. That's been made very clear by what happened with Carlos Baleba and what Romano was saying about Conor Gallagher and so on and so forth. Not getting any other player. Was it a Gourmet? And we had Stiller as well. It's not going for any of them. So in that situation, I say, well, in the summer, there's going to be everybody fighting for the best midfielders. If United can steal a match, and like we said the other day, like the Athletic was talking about Carlos Baleba, nobody's saying no to Man United going back in for Carlos Baleba in January. Harry Maguire being sold and helping out and giving us more money in this financial year before the summer window opens in July this summer, because we're not having the June window open this next year either, don't forget that. So if Man United can get money in January and make a bid in January for Carlos Baleba, we beat everybody else to that signing, because his head will be turned and other offers will go on the table, and Brighton will find it difficult to go with one. Even if the player holds out and wants to go to Manchester United and makes it clear, I still think Brighton would be open to taking other offers in. They know what they're doing when it comes to selling players. Let's make them an offer they can't refuse in January. Look, Jay was on last night and he was saying, leave Carlos Baleba, don't go for him, wait it out. Shouldn't be going out and buying a player in January. Wait it out and see if he does it for another season. And that's a good point to make, and it's a great argument on the side of this. Should Manchester United be moving players on like Harry Maguire to buy Carlos Baleba when he's only had 2 seasons in? Do we need to see another season of Carlos Baleba, or are we convinced now? I would get him now. That's my personal opinion. But look, going to come into the chat on this one now. Let me your ears and give me your thoughts, everybody, please. Give me your comments in the live comment section. If you are playing catch up later on, by the way, please do get into the comment section and give me your thoughts. If a bid came in for Maguire, Would you take it? Even if it was a 10 million bid, are you going in on that? Let me know, everyone. Get into the comments section. Let's get into a few live comments right now. First of all, a couple of super chats have come in. Hi, Adam. Please, no contract renewal. We're not an old age home. We're not an old people home. The Premier League is intense. When are we going to progress as a club? He must go. Harry proved me wrong too. Unless we buy, Harry is required. I just don't think he is this season, man. I disagree, mate. I get what you're saying. Like, with 6 more centre-backs there available for Manchester United, with no European football, I think we've got enough. I really do. Let's get some more comments in on this one. Gehan says, we need to keep moving forward with the rebuild. We need to catch Liverpool, take notice of how they are getting stronger, sell Maguire and move on. Rosanate says, would also extend Harry's contract because he can come on and give us something that no one else can at times. Is that worth a contract extension when you could be going out buying somebody else, though? That's the question that I'm asking on there. Fredrickson, Kikonki are not going to do what Maguire does for the team. But is Maguire going to be needed if you get a player in like Carlos Baleba in his place and therefore not desperately needing to throw Harry Maguire on in the last minutes out of desperation because you've got a midfielder in there that's going to work with the system and help Manchester United have games won a lot sooner? Again, Andrew, that's a good point that you make there, but obviously there is still different ways of looking at it. Should United move forward instead of going, well, we need Harry Maguire because we're desperate? We've got to keep him because he might come on and score a header for us late in the game. Should we be thinking like that, or should we be thinking progressively? We want to win games by playing a certain style of football like what Ruben wants. That's the question that I think you're asking there. I think it has to be asked there as well. Obzel says, just a sense of guilty in it. Give him 2 years. I think Heaton is like a coaching player, but I don't recommend those type of strategies. It's a waste of cash. It's a waste of cash. I think that was supposed to say waste of cash. You do that in clubs like Madrid. Just a sense of guilt in it. Give him 2 years. I don't know if you're going with keeping him there or going for the contract or saying don't do it because it's just you feel guilty for doing it. I wouldn't be giving Harry Maguire a new contract. That is my stance on this. If he goes to the end of the season, I've got no issue with that. I've got no issue if you don't sell him. All I'm saying is if a bid comes in, I'm taking it. I'm sorry, I am. I'm taking that because that can go somewhere for Manchester United. It really can. And that is going to be seen as pure profit for Manchester United. Not because of the academy graduate thing, but Harry Maguire cost us nothing on the books he's paid for. He's done. So if Man United sell Harry Maguire, that's pure profit on the accounts right now and a wage gone off the books. That is more than enough to go out with what we've already saved and buy Carlos Baleba this January. That's where we're heading. I think United have a transfer plan here. I think something is building up towards the January transfer window where we will actually go out and buy a midfielder. Like Romano said yesterday, we were talking about it on last night's show, in fact, that Manchester United will buy another midfielder in 2026. Romano being very, very clever and coy with the way he put that across there. Could we go out and get a midfielder in January? Or are we going to do it in the summer transfer window in 2026? Well, like we all know, we need a midfielder now, and Casemiro's definitely leaving in the summer, so that would mean we need 2. Bruno could leave 3. We are going to buy a midfielder in January, I think. Something will happen. Loan? Don't know. Depending on circumstances, different clubs. That would work for United. I honestly don't see them buying any midfielder unless it's Carlos Baleba, but we can bring other midfielders in if we, for instance, do a loan deal for somebody. That's what I think Manchester United are looking at right now anyway. And I think they're open to multiple options in this department as well. Unless Brighton have already won the league or been relegated or suddenly get hit with a 100 million PSR bill, they're not selling Baleba in January. Completely disagree, Andrew, on that one. They're going to sell him in the summer, so they will sell him in January. I don't think they're worried about that at all. They will take the right price if it is the right price, and we don't know what's been discussed. Look, they might not be able to get him in January. Might go in and try and then not get him again. Look, it's all open there, but I don't think Brighton would turn down a bid for Carlos Baleba if they thought that they could have a replacement ready to come in. That's what they do. They're not going to stand in the way of that transfer if they're getting the money that they want. Shaw Martinez left, De Ligt, Maguire central, Euro, Maz right, unless Euro goes centrally. If De Ligt gets injured, Leacher. This is what I mean. It's Leacher's coming back in. Why are we're obviously we're trying to make a point here. We're trying to make a case with that there to keep Harry Maguire in the thought that we're going to lose every single defender that we've got. We cannot be thinking that everyone's going to get injured. Manchester United don't need 7 centre-backs, I don't think, anyway. I think we can get one. If a bid comes in, even if it was Luke Shaw, I'm taking that bid. If it's Harry Maguire, I'm taking that bid. I'm selling either one of them players right now because it helps Manchester United, I think, in the greater good in getting players that we really, really need. Another season of Baleba, another big club gets him in the summer. If we don't strike now, says Gray. Super chat in from Ant. Keep Easter Island Head until the summer. Easter Island Head. As in Maguire. Benny, thank you for the super sticker as well, my friend. Love that, buddy. Keep your comments coming in, everyone. Let me know what you think. Would you accept a bid if it came in for Harry Maguire right now? Look, let's just round it off there on this one. I don't have a problem with Harry Maguire staying for the rest of the season. All I'm saying is if someone came in with a bid now, I would take it. I would take it because I don't think he's going to play that much. Let's not forget, we're talking about injuries here and coming up against the aged-old Manchester United problem at centre-back with so many injuries. Every single time we're talking about injuries and every single time that this debate comes up, it's because United are in a season with European football. It's 2 games a week. We're in the Carabao Cup. We're in the Europa League or the Champions League. We're not in the Carabao Cup. We're not in any form of European competition. In fact, in between now and the next international break, United have only got 4 games. 4 games. Whereas everyone above us has got a minimum 7 games. If that was the case for Man United, then, yeah, I wouldn't be thinking about moving him on. I think we need every single player we can get. But 4 games, that's it. United are playing 1 game a week all the way up until the fixtures start to pile up a little bit in December. This is how poor we was last season for where we finished with not being in Europe and now being out the Carabao Cup as well. So that's what we're dealing with right now. I just don't think we need him. And it's a chance, I think, for Manchester United. It's a big chance. Let's see what else we've got in here. My chat's not actually working right now. It's not coming up. Anyway, keep them coming in. I will make sure. Let's just refresh my page. My chat, for some reason, has just halted. Right, so we're back on again. There we go. Crazy. It's been a mad morning on the street. We had a big power cut on the street this morning as well. Crazy. Umar says, subscribe, it's free. Yes, please do. Hit that subscribe button, everybody. We're on the road. We're less than 200 away now from the big 100k. International break has hit at the wrong time on that side of things, but still, it is moving, and I really do appreciate everyone's support. Honestly, it has been immense. I keep on saying that. I'm going to keep on saying that through every single show, because there's people that don't see every single live show, so the different time zones and everything. If you haven't seen me say it before or heard me say it, thank you. Love the support. It's been absolutely brilliant. Lawrence Berry says, we'd have to buy Wharton in January before Madrid. If he's the playmaker, we need to replace Bruno, though he might stay to lead the pivot again. Oh, not. Les says, I would take it with Harry Maguire. But I would give him another year rather than get nothing for him. If his contract runs down, then we get nothing. Would you give him a contract extension at the end of this year just to sell him on in the summer? That's the question I think that Les is putting out there on that one there. A lot of people would look at that and think that's the old way of United doing things. That, I think, is obviously a different topic and a different conversation altogether again, but still, it is something there that United would do. They were thinking about it with Jadon Sancho, and that hasn't been decided yet, by the way, with Jadon Sancho. We could still trigger his 1-year extension so we don't lose out in the summer. Be prepared for that, because Romano also said it, and nothing has been done or talked about, because I think they're trying to keep that under the radar. So, yeah, that one could still happen also. I know, it's crazy, innit? But, yeah, there is a real possibility that Jadon Sancho's contract gets triggered for a 1-year extension as well on his current deal. And we've still not got rid of him. But that might be just so we sell him in in the summer. Now, if we triggered his 1 year extension, it means he's still at the football club, but then we could sell him for maybe 10 million. On top of what we've made this summer, we've not paying any wages for him, with him going to Aston Villa. United might accept that. It might just be easier. And then we don't have to pay that contract for the extended year because we've sold him. So, yeah, I would prefer Man United to have enough money and not be concerned about that sort of thing. But the way that finances are right now, I could actually see that happening. United triggered a 1 year extension to Jadon Sancho and then sell him. This is what we did with Harry Maguire, by the way. He's in that last year now, which United triggered. So he's 6th year at the football club for Manchester United. Full contract. Is it 6 or 7th? I'm trying to remember right now. But yeah, either way, Harry Maguire's paid for. If we did sell him or take anything for him, then we would be in the 100% profit margin with that as well. Big debate going on in the chat there. I'm loving it. I am loving it. By the way, we have extended our deal with OK Jerseys. They are going to be supplying and doing constant giveaways, everybody, for the replica shirts like I have got on right now. And you've seen some snazzy kits come out on these shows. I know you have. So if you want to grab yours now, there is a new discount code put in there. If you put Adam, just Adam, the name, in the promo code, discount code section, when on OK Jerseys, you will get another 8% off already cheap prices. The shirts are 15 quid, guys. Get in there and get whatever kit, shirt you want. Kids kits, retros, all of the replicas that are on there. Absolute top-notch quality. So get at it, people. Get yours now. They are going to be doing more giveaways. They're going to stay with us for a bit longer as well, which is great. So we're going to be doing some more of the shirt giveaways going forward as well, everybody. So stay tuned for that. Fabrizio Romano, Andre Onana travel to Turkey for Trabzonspor. Loan move will take place on Thursday. Medical already booked. Yep, we reported that. Just to bring that, we did completely update you yesterday on the Fabrizio Romano update on Andre Onana. The deal is done. Manchester United and Trabzonspor have exchanged contracts now, and that is all signed, done. He will be a Trabzonspor player by Thursday. That's when the window closes in Turkey, by the way, on Thursday. So he will be unveiled on Thursday as a Trabzonspor player. And Andre Onana has gone. We don't need to talk about him anymore. It's a great debate going into the derby at weekend because we're not knowing which way we're going to go. I think most people are expecting Altay Bayındır to play in goal. A lot of people just said, just put Lamens in goal. Let's go for it. By the way, Manchester City's goalkeeping situation. Going to be interesting to see what they do because Gianluigi Donnarumma conceded 4 last night in their 5-4 win against Israel. So that, I think, is key as well. Why has my camera gone off now as well? Bear with me a second, everybody. Just bringing it back online. Everything has gone a little bit mental this morning with the old studio because of the big power cut that we had earlier on. So, yeah, I don't know. Electrics, scary. All I can hear is a load of noise outside and I don't know what's going on. I think someone's done something they shouldn't do this morning and it's just, yeah, it's in a bit of a 2 and 8 out there. I'll find out later when I finish the show anyway. But, yeah, sorry about that. If the screen went off, I'm still here, everyone. Don't worry. Right, moving on. The derby, by the way, I do believe it will be Bayındır. All the talk and everything that's coming out in and around Manchester United that I know of and what's been said so far looks like Bayındır. By the way, Benjamin Sesko impressed last night. Yes, they got beat. They got battered by Switzerland. But I think a few people have been putting the highlights on his link-up play and everything. There was only one player on the Slovenian side that got a 7+ rating out of that game versus Switzerland last night, and that was our man Benjamin Sesko. Oh, look, I'm not trying to big him up to levels that he isn't. He made some he had some good moments. Look, he's not firing on all cylinders yet, but he's had 2 full 90 minutes. Matt Sharpness is probably going to be back. I'm looking forward to seeing him getting more game time against Man City at weekend. I really am. And I hope he does get it. I do. I don't want us to rush players back. Like we said yesterday, though, more talk actually overnight about Mount and Matthias Cunha getting even closer to being available. They really could play, everyone, is what's being said. So there is a chance that we do see a similar lineup to what we had last time. So, yeah, really interesting in terms of what that selection is going to be in that starting lineup for Ruben Amorim. It is going to be I think, probably one of his hardest team selections that he's had to make with all the circumstances involved. Because, let's see, like, Matthews Cunha's not played. Like, he's had 2 weeks off. Sesko's had 2 full 90 minutes now. Mason Mount's not played. And you know what Ruben's like for fitness and being ready to go. He won't rush a player back. So Benjamin Sesko's performances, link up, and what he did in his game for Slovenia over the last couple of weeks, that's now done and out the way, everybody, by the way, on his way back to Manchester. So to have him and back in and around, most of the players come back tomorrow. Obviously, we said yesterday we'll have Matthias de Ligt back, we'll have Patrick Dorgu back, Benjamin Sesko. By the way, Patrick Dorgu got about 26 minutes last night for Denmark. Featured and did well. Had a few take-ons, really starred for Denmark last night. Well done, Rasmus Højlund again. Still a United player officially at the moment. He scored his first goal of the season last night for Denmark as well, so credit to him. Good on you, Rasmus. But we're more interested in Patrick Dorgu. I'm really happy that he's not been overplayed. I'm really happy that the players that we needed to get game time got game time, and the players that really probably we wanted resting and making sure we're fully fit actually got rested. But I mean, Brian Mbeumo obviously is another one that has featured quite a bit for Cameroon over the international break. But yeah, Benjamin Sesko, Patrick Dorgu, star players last night for their countries, albeit Dorgu didn't really do too much in terms of minutes, like 26 minutes over the whole international break. At least you know he's fresh. That's all you can say. At least you know Patrick Dorgu is going to be raring to go by the time kickoff comes around for the Manchester derby. Would you go with, I mean, obviously, we don't know the situation with Diogo Dalot at the moment. Obviously, he was sent back from internationals early on in the first days, in fact. So if Dalot is out, Dorgu has to play. So he will play on the left-hand side instead of Dalot from the Burnley game. And then I'm guessing he's going to put Ahmad out on the right-hand side again. Or will he try and be defensive? Now, there is a case here, by the way, and you won't like it, where he maybe plays Mazraoui at right wing-back. And then he goes and puts Ahmad in at number 10. And Bruno goes back in at 8. You see where I'm going? And then you don't get Kobe Mainoo playing in this game. If he goes in now, 4th game in, and Mainoo doesn't start again, that's the worrying sign for me heading into the January transfer window right there, because everything will start to bubble up. Everything will start to get a little bit needly, is the right word, I don't even know if that is a word actually, but you know what I mean. It'll start to get a little bit tetchy, a little bit awkward. The news and the media will start to build up again. We really do need to see, if we don't want to see them headlines for Kobe Mainoo, we really need to start seeing him get some minutes. But I've just got a fear that he may actually even push Ahmad in at number 10 and put Mazraoui as extra defensive protection on the right-hand side and then play Dorgu on the left. I do. I think there is a chance he might go with that. I was thinking about this last night, actually. I don't know if that would please many United fans, because everyone would automatically think Bruno goes in at 10, where he should do, and then Kobe Mainoo will step in next to Casemiro. But you know what Amorim's like, and he made us try and mix it up again, and Ahmad plays, and Ahmad deserves to play. And look, I haven't got a problem with Ahmad going in at number 10, and I haven't got a problem with Mazraoui playing either. It's a great situation to be in. I'm just worried the midfield situation again with Kobe Mainoo. I don't want to be talking as a Man United fan about Kobe Mainoo kicking off about his game time or not signing his contract. I hate that content. I don't like doing it. We talk about it because it's news, and we're never going to hide away from any awkward subject here on Forever United TV. You know what it's like. You know how it is, and that's how it's always going to be. I just fear looking ahead, like, you know what I mean by this. You know what's coming if he doesn't play. If he doesn't start him against City, I'm like, he's been sat there through the whole international break, watching everybody else play for England, thinking about that World Cup. He's not getting game time. He's not going to get in the team. And that, for me, is the biggest concern. It's the whole circus around the media side of things. I think Kobe's got his head screwed on. I do. I think he's knuckling down now, and he's ready to go. It's Amorim, though, isn't it? It's like, is he going to play him? He'll stick to his ways, and he should do. Look, Amorim, do what you've got to do. But you are going to create that storm, I think. If Mainoo isn't in this side, you are going to create a little bit of a stink with it. And look, Cobby needs to get in line. Like, let's just make that very clear. I've made that point. Cobby needs to get in line and fight for his place back. I just don't think Ruben's going to give it him back. And that's my only thing. That's my for him, that's a concern. For the United fan, look, I hope Ruben puts his strongest side out. I think even if Mainoo doesn't play, I don't think it's going to weaken Manchester United. And I'll back Ruben Amorim on what call he makes, but it's the aftermath that concerns me more than anything. Let's get some more comments in. Please pile into the comments, everybody. Let's get your thoughts on everything that we've just been talking about leading up to this game this weekend against City. Had enough on Mainoo. Me and 20-year-old kicking kicking up this much of a stink, I think I'm supposed to say there. We don't need it. Sell him. Carl is right in on Cobby there, saying get rid. I'd sell Dalot as well. He's been here long enough and has probably reached his ceiling, which is literally a par. Dalot's an interesting one come the summer as well. I just need to check on Dalot's contract at some point and see when that's up, because I know he renewed it a couple of seasons back, so I don't think he's far away either contract-wise. Given the situation, Cunha out, Bruno to 10, Mainoo at 8, Mazraoui right wing-back, Ahmad off to the bench. See, does Ahmad deserve to be on the bench? That's another one, isn't it? Look, at the end of the day, Manny's right. Like, every single player deserves to be on the pitch. Every single player deserves to be on the bench. It's Man United at the end of the day. And you're at a club that you're going to be competing with players week in, week out, high caliber players. So I don't think anybody should be bitching and moaning about being on the bench, to be honest. Look, if it's Ahmad, so be it. If it's Mainoo, so be it. Simple. But what a lot of people will look at is probably Amorim if he starts trying to squeeze Bruno Fernandes in at 8 again when he's got a clear chance there to put Cobby in. That's going to talk a lot, I think. And I already know how the media are revving this up and what's going to happen. If Cobby doesn't play and Bruno's in at bleeding 8 again, when he should be with 2 spaces available at 10, playing at number 10, then, yeah, everyone's going to be writing the same story. Mainoo has been a very good servant to the club, and he is an international. The way fans are cascating him is outrageous and ungrateful. Has he been a great servant for Man United? He's not played a full season yet. I don't know about great servant, Emmanuel. Not at all on that one. He's just an academy player coming through who needs to take his chance. He's just another number. That's it. This great servant garbage. Sorry, no, I'm not having that. He's not been a great servant for Man United. Not yet. He wants to be. And that's the big thing about it. So, yeah, he wants to be a Man United player for the future. That's the start. Past that, honestly, no, there is nothing else there. Victor says, you talk about Cobby is a player FC thing. No, I don't. I really don't talk about Cobby as a player FC thing at all. So I don't know where you got that from. Let the coach do what he has to do. The most important thing is for us to win the derby. He can come in as a sub or start. It doesn't matter. I know. And that's what I said, Victor. I don't know why you would go with it at that angle, but that's what I said. Look, it's what's going to come after it that worries me, because we don't want to be talking about what comes after. We should be talking about Cobby Mainoo sitting his ass on the bench and accepting where he is because Ruben Amorim is picking the team he wants. That's what I made clear at the very start, mate. I'm not making an issue out of Cobby at all. Everybody else will if he doesn't play. And really, he just needs to suck it up, train like he is doing, accept it, which I think he has done, and then make the most of his minutes that he does get. Like, seriously, no preferential treatment at all for Cobby Mainoo. I don't care. He's just a squad player for Manchester United, like everybody else is. Bruno will play at 8 versus City. I don't see him moving him to number 10. Bruno, Casemiro 2, and Sesko, maybe Ahmad and Sesko up front. And Bruno probably, I think you meant there, mate, yeah? Up top, if Mount and Cunha are not fit. That's pretty much what I just said. It could go either way. It could go either way. I don't understand why everyone keeps propping up Mainoo, only to tear him down. Fans are as much to blame for the toxic culture as the club is, as the players are. Just support the lad, end of. Well, not really, CC. Again, mate. Yeah, I get your opinion and where you're going with that, buddy. But let's not forget, he thinks he should be on 200 grand a week wages. Can you honestly say that he deserves that? Because that's factual. That's come out. That's been reported by The Athletic. And that's the problem you've got. He hasn't done enough. And if that's coming out from him now, then that's why fans have got that little bit of doubt. So you can't blame the fans for having a go at a player that hasn't done enough, who wants 200 grand a week wages, when there's staff being fired left, right and centre and the fans are paying through the teeth to go and watch their team. No, mate. I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you on that one. The fans have got every right to be upset with Kobbie Mainoo and support him at the same time. So this is what fans really, because the only people in that stadium that are paying to be there are fans. Everybody else in there, employee-wise, really should just do their jobs and get in line. Like, nobody deserves more than anybody else. Mainoo don't deserve more than Yoro. Mainoo don't deserve more than Amad Diallo. That's facts. Again, I think everybody understands that. But Mainoo thinks that he is worth 80 grand more a week than both Lenny Yoro and Amad. And fans know this. And fans have got a problem with it. We're paying a fortune. So we do have a say. And we will support the player. But we're also very much entitled to our opinions on what's going on behind the scenes here, because it is being reported out. And like I said, when I went back to it, this is what will be reported if he does not play. Therefore, makes us talk about it and debate it on groups, on shows, and on social media. It's just the way that it goes. It's the media that will put it out there, which is why we're talking about it, and we're worried about it because we didn't know it was happening. But they've told us, and now we're concerned that we've got a player that thinks he should be playing and being paid this much when really he shouldn't. That's the whole argument here. It's not who has done enough, said Fred. Look, no one's getting contract extensions at Man United. Look, the only contract extensions at Manchester United, Fred, by the way, Amad, Bruno. I think both deserve contracts. Look, that's up for debate again if you want. But Bruno has been a regular for Man United, consistent performer for Man United. I think he did deserve a contract. And Amad got absolutely taken through the mud by Erik ten Hag and United. I think he has also earned a contract. He's been on loan 3 times. He's earned his way back in, and he was ditched, and he's come back in again. I think them 2 players 100% have deserved their contract extensions. And when you say that there, who has earned it? Who has deserved it, Fred? Well, I think the players that have had the contract extensions, no one else has, which is why I am happy with where the club is at right now. I don't think there's any player over 200 grand a week wages now after Bruno and Casemiro leave. That's exactly where this club needs to be, because the performances on the pitch warrants that sort of level of pay. And it goes up when we start competing and challenging for the Champions League. I think that's clear. I think that's how it should be. A properly structured big football club would be that way. You get paid a fortune if you earn the club a fortune by competing and winning the biggest trophies on the planet. Simple. Jace Leacher is done. Stop counting on him. Stick note. Trust me. Sick note. Trust me. Look, you could say that because he's had 3 big injuries, and this is a big season for him. I wouldn't say he's done. I definitely wouldn't say he's done. I think Leacher can really do a job for Man United. Definitely with no European football, by the way. Again, this is why we brought up the Harry Maguire situation at the top of the show. So, yeah, that's where we're at, I think, anyway. Lots of comments. Great debate this morning, by the way, everybody. Nothing is free in life. You have to earn it. Yes, you do have to earn it, Ant. And he has to get in line with everybody else. Because eventually, the way this club is being run, the people that are running it, we are not going to see players just being given the world before they've done enough to earn it. I think this is where United are trying to move towards, and I think we're nearly there. And I think after next summer, we will be there as well. Okay, moving on. In terms of other players that have played, there isn't really much more to talk about. Bruno Fernandes tonight. Obviously, Dalot has gone home. I think it's Mbumo tonight as well. Can't remember if Cameroon played last night, but I think Mbumo plays tonight as well. We're praying that Sandro Onana doesn't get an injury. That transfer goes through. That is a fingers crossed moment for everybody. But also, yeah, I do think that we've come out of this international break, I think, really well again. It's been a good one. And no excuse leading into the derby. By the way, for the derby, everybody, you could see the QR code up on your screen right there for Match Bingo. We'll drop the link into the chat in a moment as well. Get your 200% boosted chance right now. Your 200% boosted odds. If you use promo code FUTV, all caps, on Match Bingo right now, scan the QR code, download the app. As a new customer, when you open an account, if you deposit £5, Match Bingo will double that to £10 instantly. It's £2 a game. But we are running this promo code FUTV for a little while longer because loads of you have been involved. We've had loads of you actually win on the game. I want more FUTV subscribers to win on Match Bingo. FUTV in the promo code. When you set up your account, everybody, it gives you 200% boost on your deposit, giving you loads more to play with and a massive chance to win the jackpots, which go up to near £300 a game for £2 a game. Get in there, have some fun, play some Match Bingo. Again, if you haven't played the game before, it is just like playing bingo, but with match events. Instead of someone reading numbers out to you and you're crossing them off, it's a match event, like a goal scored in a certain minute, the post being hit, the crossbar being hit. Cross it off yours. If you get 5 in a row, like you would in bingo, you get 25 quid instant win. Another 25 quid for another line, and then you could win up to 200 quid in jackpots if you get all 15, everybody. So get involved now on Match Bingo, but get on the promo code FUTV now. Boost your sales before it runs out. We have convinced them to run it a bit longer, and everybody's jumping on it. So grab yours now, everyone, and be in with a chance of winning in the Manchester Derby. We are doing a watch-along here on FUTV YouTube this Sunday for the Manchester Derby, where we will be running a Match Bingo live game with it alongside it. We are then going to be doing a calling show after that game. Jay has said he's going to join me on that calling show. So it's going to be me and Jay running the calling show after the Manchester Derby on Sunday evening. You want to be there, everyone. It is going to be a great day of content this weekend. And we can all debate the team and everything then when it drops out, because it is going to be a full-on It's going to be full on madness. It is. I can't wait for the game. Honestly, I really do hope that Manchester United come out of this. For Ruben's sake, it would be a massive boost for Manchester United. It really would. By the way, everybody, did you see the news about Espirito Santo this morning? The sack race is over. Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked this morning by Nottingham Forest. That breaking news video is already up on Football Talks, everybody. The link in the description as well. The mods will also drop it in on the live chat. It has just been up in the live chat as well, the video. Breaking news this morning. Nottingham Forest. Madurakis is at it again. He has sacked Nuno Espirito Santo. And guess who the favourite is to come back in? Ange Postecoglou. And then Jose Mourinho. Go watch the rest of that show after this live finishes, everybody, on Football Talks. The video is there. Are we about to see Jose's return to the Premier League? Madness this morning. The breaking news all over the bleeding place. It is crazy. But that is it right now, everybody, here on FUTV. Thank you so much. Please pop a like on the video if you haven't already. I love that. Hit that subscribe button as well. Less than 200 away from 100k. Mental. Thank you, everybody, if you have done already. I will see you all later on with any news updates throughout the day. Back in the evening live show as always. And make sure that you stay safe out there, everybody. Hopefully your power hasn't gone down like mine did this morning. But look, I'll be back later.